Hey guys, welcome to the podcast. Today we have another special episode. This is Brian, and he is super great on Instagram. He has personally been super inspiring to me and super helpful. So I'm really excited to bring you this interview. I don't know what we're going to talk about yet, but you should really stay tuned and watch the whole video. So Brian, what is your carnivore journey? How did you come across carnivore, and what was life like before carnivore?
Hi, Aaliyah. Great to see you again. Um, yeah, I'm Brian Kelly. I'm an Irishman. I'm 53 years of age today, actually.
Happy
And
birthday. Oh yeah,
thank you
guys.
very much.
Today's Brian's birthday. I forgot to add that. Happy birthday.
Thank you so much. Um, yeah, I'm from Ireland, but I live in Denmark, in Copenhagen. And I kind of work all over Europe. At the moment, I'm working in Amsterdam. That's kind of a little bit about me. As in regards to the carnivore diet, I didn't really know much about it in the beginning.
Um,
I
I
had
had
some
some
issues.
issues.
If you look
If
at
you
the
look at
top
the
of my
top,
page, um, I got photographed about 2 years ago on one of the sites I was on in Belgium. And it just happened to be in the photo. It wasn't a particular photograph of me, but that went onto a WhatsApp group of about 500 people that were on the site. And when I saw it, I was just horrified at the state of how I looked. I had a huge belly. You could see there was fat around my face, and I was horrified by it. And that moment was my why moment, as everybody has one. Um, I decided at that point that I had to do something about it. So I started digging and digging and digging, using my own personal page at the time on Instagram. And yeah, I came across, people like Dr. Barbara O'Neill. I don't know if you know her. She's New Zealand, I think, isn't she? Got some good information from her in regards to grains and carbohydrates and cholesterol and all that kind of stuff. And that started me on my journey of cutting out processed foods, cutting out seed oils, doing all the right things um, in order to get to what ended up as a keto diet, really. But then, I was about 12 months on that. Uh, got really good results, but then discovered the carnivore diet through the likes of Dr. Sean Baker, Dr. Anthony Chafee. All of these guys started popping up. And the more and more I read about it and listened to these guys, the more um, I started leaning towards it. And eventually made the choice to go full carnivore. And boy, it was a power up. Eventually, like, even though I had seen a lot of results in my gout, let's say, for example, um, it was still there. I mean, I was still including blueberries and things like that. And um, it wasn't until I cut the last of the fruits out and things like that I got the real benefits from carnivore. That's about 14 months ago now, and I haven't looked back. I've healed pretty much everything that was wrong with me. I lost 35 kilos. Um, like I said, mentioned earlier, my gout disappeared, my sciatica disappeared. Any neck pain, I had a lot of neck pain and things like that starting to creep in. Of course, it's all to do with the joints. Uh, I used to get tennis elbow a lot, that kind of thing, because I'm a carpenter by trade. And over the years, I'd have used the hammer an awful lot. So tennis elbow was something that really, that was horrific. Tinnitus, the ringing in the ear, which kept me awake a lot of nights, that's gone. I know that a lot of people are reporting that their tinnitus is disappearing. I was just before I started the journey, I had been diagnosed with sleep apnea. I hadn't started taking any medication or anything like that, but I'm glad that that's gone. It's just gone. I sleep like a log now. I have the carnivore sleep patterns. When I'm ready to go to sleep, I need to go to sleep. It's like a shutdown, and I sleep solidly all night. So yeah, that's kind of my journey. I don't know if there's any questions you have about it or.
What's your energy levels like on Carnivore?
Oh, it's through the roof. Totally through the roof. I have energy, constant energy all day long. It's amazing. Like I said, I work in construction. I'm now a site manager, and it's a huge data center that we're building here in Amsterdam. And I cover at least 20,000 steps a day on the site because I manage the entire site with a couple of hundred guys on it, doing all kinds of different trades. And I have to be able to, zigzag around the site all day long, solving issues and solving problems and all that kind of stuff. And apart from the physical aspect of it, the energy I have mentally as well is amazing. I mean, I can be just as clear in the evenings about decision making and all that kind of stuff as I am first thing in the morning. So energy wise, yes, it's amazing, the carnivore diet, truly. Anything else?
So, what would your average day of eating be like?
Well, mostly I am what we call OMAD. So that's OMAD, which stands for one meal a day. Uh, that's pretty much it. And that could consist of eggs, of course, maybe some steak, maybe some ground beef patties. I like a little bit of dairy also, so I would have the patty with a bit of cheese on top. So a couple of those. I do enjoy fish, so either prawns or salmon. I'll have some of that. Not the same every day, let's say, but a mix mash of all kinds of stuff. I usually cook on a Sunday. I'm going to start cooking once we finish here. I have some wonderful food in my fridge for the week ahead, and yeah, including a big tomahawk steak.
So,
So
yeah,
yeah.
what's your favorite cut of meat or steak?
Oh, that's a difficult one. Obviously, the quality is the biggest issue for me. I try my best. I found a very good source here for grass-fed, grass-finished uh, beef. It's a company here in the Netherlands that deliver a box, whatever you decide to order. So my favorite cut would be it's between the ribeye and the tomahawk, really. But quality-wise, I really try to go for the best, you know, that kind of thing.
So, I have to know, how do your friends, family, and even coworkers feel about you being on this diet and the difference and the changes that you have made?
Okay, I'll start with family. The generation above me doesn't want to know about it. They can see the benefits I've had. They can see me running around the place. They can see how fit and healthy I am, how flexible I am. But they just refuse to believe it. They're in that era where they just believe their doctors. They believe in these medications that they're taking. And yeah, it horrifies me, but I've tried everything to try and get through to them. It just doesn't work. Um, Now, my own generation, let's say, my own siblings, yeah, they're listening, but really not taking it on board. They can see, again, they can see the benefits I'm getting. But again, yeah, they're thinking about it, but not happening. Now, my kids, uh, both of them, both of my sons are gone totally carnivore. Also, my little daughter, anytime I'm with her in Copenhagen, she's 5. She eats what daddy eats because she loves it. So I can't convince her mum, I'm afraid. But there you go. At least she's well when I'm there. I'm not saying that her mum doesn't feed her actually well. Don't get me wrong, but there are carbohydrates in there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So how do I ask this? What's your opinion on how right now the processed food industry what's your opinion on the processed food industry right now and how it's affecting the upcoming generations?
Right. Well, I hesitate to call it food. As you know, we in the space, we don't see it as food anymore. It's horrifying what's in those packaged things. I mean, there's all kinds of chemical and gunk and glyphosate and everything, and sugar, all kinds of poisonous stuff. So, yeah, I'm delighted that I'm talking to you because I really admire you for a young 16-year-old girl. What you're doing is amazing. And I really hope that your generation can make a difference and spread this, wonderful thing that we've stumbled across, the carnivore diet. I've seen huge benefit in it. I know thousands of people around the world are getting the benefit of it.
Mhm.
So yeah, I don't need to say that you need to go full carnivore. I'm okay if somebody gets ketovore or something like that, animal based. And I think that would be a good move to start with at least, and then progress because I feel that, um, transitioning is a very important part of how I got to the carnivore stage. I didn't have that 2 week kind of phase in period that a lot of people talk about. Mine just happened very easily. I just cut out the last thing at the end and I was carnivore. So, yeah, transitioning, yeah, go keto first for a little bit, I would say. Cut out the processed foods, cut out the seed oils, um, and stop drinking this monster shit. Sorry, shouldn't say that. You can cut that out. Okay.
I tend to not really cut these things just because it takes a lot of time. But I mean, if you're fine with that being in there, I don't really have a problem with it.
It's okay. It's not that strong.
Um,
So,
so what's the difference between, maybe how you were raised to food and society wise versus how your kids are being raised now by the population?
yeah. So you want to know about my upbringing?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, because I'm from the west of Ireland, we didn't have all the conveniences when I was young. Um, we were miles and miles from the nearest town. Um, so yeah, we didn't have the convenient McDonald's or any of that. There was none of it nearby. So most of what I was eating growing up was a whole food diet, mostly from farms, local farms, and that kind of stuff. My grandmother used to make the butter. We used to get the milk from the cows. Um, yeah, my uncle would butcher a cow every once in a while. Um, my grandfather grew potatoes, all that kind of stuff. A lot of what I ate was whole, solid food, uh, natural food, I meant to say. Um, and occasional treat, maybe. That'd be it. And I remember most of my childhood, and into my teens, I was fit and strong and healthy. I used to spend my summer days in the fields with my grandfather, my uncles, on the farm, making hay, all that kind of stuff, and spent the whole day outside in nothing but a pair of shorts and never got burned. You know, it's something that comes up in the carnivore world as well. We don't wear sunscreen, but it's because we're eating the proper food, uh, and not wearing sunshades is another part of that too, as you know, because your eyes need to sense the radiation, or not the radiation, the ultraviolet in the sun. So yeah, compared to what my sons are up against, let's say for example, they're in their 20s now. They are quite fit, but they have been doing kickboxing and things like that, and they have been eating pretty clean. Okay, I surprise them with things like juices and smoothies and all that kind of stuff. I surprise them at how much sugar and other things are in those, so they've cut them out. But yeah, like I said, they are pretty much carnivore. In fact, my oldest son has said he is going 100% carnivore now. Yeah, so there we go.
Um, so my question is, do you feel as if sunscreen is on top of food and diet increasing the rates of skin cancer?
Oh, you mean putting the sunscreen on? The
Yes.
sunscreen you buy on the shelves nowadays, yes, it definitely is contributing to it. Um, Up to 2 years ago, I was wearing sunscreen, and every summer I broke out. My arms would break out in kind of scabs or whatever, or itchy bits. And that happened every single summer over the last 10 years. The minute I went carnivore, uh, and I was getting the proper fats in my diet, I had cut out the seed oils a year before that, actually. Uh, I stopped wearing sunscreen, and for the past 2 summers, I've never had this issue again. Um, so yes, I do believe that a combination of seed oils in your diet mixed with the actual chemicals and the sunscreen are probably what's causing a lot of these things. I can't say that it's all, but I'm convinced that
Mhm.
it is causing most of it because it didn't exist before sunscreens were invented. There was very little word of it.
Okay, so this is a question that's kind of geared towards maybe a vegan audience. Do you think
Mhm.
carnivore or a vegan diet, which one do you think is more sustainable for the earth?
Okay, I can see where you're going here. 100% of the carnivore diet is more sustainable for the earth. The vegetables and the plants and all of these things that are on the shelves today are sprayed with all kinds of chemicals. Um, a lot of them are what they call Roundup Ready. They've all been genetically or otherwise modified over the centuries um, to be as sweet as possible. And of course, they are laden with oxalates, phytates, all these horrible things that really don't do good things in your body. So, from the planet's point of view, a cow grazing in a field uh, is sequestering the carbon that is coming. These claims that cows farting is changing the atmosphere is not true. It simply is not. It's a process that's been happening for billions of years through ruminant animals. You know, um, yeah. Also, the grain crops, the mono crops, let's say, they're destroying the planet. They really are. They're taking up too much space, um, and really and truly, it's leading to very poor health in the population. So carnivore for the win.
Yes, and
Yeah,
I would even go as far to say that um, plant harvesting, like corn, grains, any mass plant production, is more harmful to the natural environment than any kind of animal farming because
yeah,
of these weed killers and glyphosate and pesticides, and even the way the tractors plow through the fields is killing rabbits,
exactly.
mice, anything that's beneficial to the natural environment, and
Mm.
thousands and thousands of bugs and these things that
Earthworms,
are meant to help
everything.
regenerate our soil and our earth are just being killed off for the sake of some corn. So even then, you kill about, like, I think it's like 1,000 rabbits per cornfield, which
Mm.
cornfields are massive. But
Yeah,
how often are they replanting this corn and regrowing this corn and all this kind of
exactly.
stuff. So, which is better,
Uh,
a natural environment or having cornfields with depleted soil in them?
exactly. Like I said, regenerative farming is the way forward for sure, and we need to support our regenerative farmers. That's why I buy my meat the way I do. I do not go to supermarkets anymore, only in an emergency.
Mhm.
I really try to buy everything direct from the farmer as much as possible. Um, yeah, you're right in saying that the monocrop agriculture is horrifically affecting our planet, our wildlife, our bees, all of that kind of stuff. And apart from that, they're again monocrop means that it's the same crop every year, year on year, and there are no nutrients left in that soil. Nothing. You're not getting any of the nutrients that you would have done 10,000 years ago when farming started,
Yeah.
maybe 12. Yeah.
And even when farming started, before agriculture really became popular, as far
Mm.
as everybody or big farms were doing it, even I don't know how many years ago, whatever. Our brains decreased in size when agriculture became the standard. So
Yes, it
even
went
then,
down by
with
11%.
yeah, even with the plants having these nutrients present, there was still enough plant chemicals to decrease our brain size. And on top of
Mm.
that, there was speculation, kind of just reasoning. I'm not sure really like the studies on it for right now, where carbs are very addictive. We all know that, but
Mm.
at some point, our brains realized that sweets meant less oxalates, less plant toxins because fruits obviously have a lot less plant toxins. That's why animal based is kind of a thing versus keto or whatever. And a
Mm.
lot of people have no issues with fruits, even with the carbs in there, if they're not a carb addict. So fruits have less plant toxins, less chemicals because they want you to eat them. Because once the seeds go through your digestive system and they leave your body,
Mm.
then they can grow into a fruit tree. And
Mm.
certain fruits are more toxic than others, specifically berries, because they only want certain squirrels and certain birds to eat them. But our
Mm.
bodies at some point learned that this sweet taste meant that these things were not poisonous. That bitter taste means poison. The sweet taste means it's good. It's better for you than the bitter taste. And I
Mm.
think that's why people get that really high dopamine response from carbs and sugars because of
Absolutely.
that. And I don't know if I'm explaining that exactly correct, but I'm trying my best. So what was your opinion on honeybee? I don't know what you think about honey.
Honey, I still have a little bit of honey, not much.
Hmm.
Um, I like it in my coffee, just a tiny bit, but it has to be a very good quality. Again, as local as possible. Um, there's a lot of corruption in the honey industry, believe it or not. There's a lot of mixing of honeys going on and mixing of syrup with honey as well. So you have to be really careful when you're buying honey, buy very good quality. The reason I still keep it in, you know my handle there is the Hunter-Gatherer Mindset. Um, I believe that, millions of years ago, man, as we were evolving, we would have had access to honey occasionally. I think so. So that's definitely, do I smother everything in honey? No. Like I said, I have one jar that I buy every 2 months. That's it. So tiny tip in the coffee. That's it. So
I'm all for people having honey, but my only issue with it is if we were to go back to us being hunter gatherers, yes, we would have access to honey, but would we really go to the links to collect the honey? Um,
mm,
if it was wild, like I know there's a lot of
yeah.
evidence of like Egyptians having honey, but
Hmm.
who knows? Were they farming it or were they like going out and finding it in the wild? That's what I would like to know. And I think personally, maybe me, if you were starving, this would be completely different. But if you already had,
Mm,
a good hunt or you knew that there was going to be food soon, you wouldn't go out and you know, go into a beehive and try and collect some honey, because you would definitely get stung. So who knows? Maybe they were smarter and they had ways of going about it without
Mm.
disturbing the bees like we do now. But yeah, my opinion on it is that honey's great if you like it, if you tolerate it, if you want it. But for a lot of people, it will like kind of trigger that like sugar addiction. Um, but I think people who didn't get addicted to sugar as kids, as young adults, don't really have that
Mm.
problem. And I've noticed that a lot where people who grew up eating almost little to no sugar, when they get to an adult and they break that sugar addiction, through carnivore, through keto, whatever, they don't have a problem adding small amounts back in.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's very little that I would use, and that's the only sugar I
Yeah.
have. So it's that minute. I don't even count it really.
Hmm.
It's just for the taste of the coffee. That's all, really. Um, yeah, I wouldn't use it more than that.
Yeah. I don't like the taste of honey anyway, so it's just not
Oh,
something.
really? I used to love it.
Yeah, I've had to use it a couple times for like when I had like a throat itch or cough or
Yeah.
something. And I just don't enjoy the taste of it, and I hate using it as a sweetener for anything, so I just don't.
Mm. Yeah.
Um,
Like I said, it's personal choice. Of all the sugary things out there, I would say if someone wants to use a little bit of honey, it's not the end of the world.
yeah,
Mm. But
yeah.
again, good quality.
I like sweeteners. Like I'm definitely like if I'm gonna make a carnivore dessert, I'm not gonna make it like not sweet. And I have made them not sweet before, and they were so good, but they all just kind of taste like an omelet. So
Mm.
I always just add just a little bit of like stevia in there. I tried to use allulose for a while, and I just don't. I can't. It
Mm.
tastes like burnt caramel to me. It's disgusting.
I'm hearing some things now about allulose, that it's not really that good for you.
Yeah. Well, I've heard the opposite. I've heard that it's really good for you, and then that it's not.
Mm.
So, I just kind of, use sweeteners lightly, and I don't have any issues with them. So.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried them all. I think I'd rather go with the honey if I was to use a sweetener at all. A good quality,
Mhm.
um, local honey.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we have like I live like on farm land. Not farmland anymore, but like there's a lot of farming near me, a lot of agriculture. Not so much
mm,
agriculture, but like a lot of just cattle,
yeah,
horses, poultry. And then we do have some small cornfields and some decently large like strawberry fields and orchards. But for grain farming, there's nothing nearby. So that's really good. And
mm,
we have a very local farm that does like honey and they do strawberries and peaches. And they don't use any pesticides, I believe, but they're not certified
yeah,
organic. So if I were
okay,
to go eat fruits or vegetables or honey per se, I'd probably buy it from them.
yeah. Well, everything's best that you can get locally.
Hmm.
We were talking about the environment earlier. I mean, and vegans, a lot of what they eat is shipped around the world
Hmm.
to get to their doorstep. And throughout our evolution, we wouldn't have had access to that. There's no way that a person in Europe, let's say, would have known what a kiwi was, or a banana even. We had no access to that. So I hear the cockerel in the background there. That's cool. Yeah. So when I say everything local as much as possible, for sure. Support the people around you, and as well as that, it's it's I don't know how to put what I'm saying. Let's say when the bees are getting their pollen locally, that works in harmony with your own nature, and you develop a tolerance to the pollens in that area through the honey that's made locally. That I've read about recently, and that's fascinating, I think. Um, can help with people with hay fever, sorry. Yeah, um, that's my take on it. So long as it's local.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. If I liked honey, I would probably use it, but I just don't.
There you go.
Just don't like it. Maybe I know there's different brands of like not different brands, different types of honey you can buy as far as like what flowers they're pollinating from, but I think I've tried a lot of different ones, and I didn't really notice much of a difference for me. But maybe I'll try again and see.
There's one that's made from bees that they're in a pine forest, and you can actually almost smell when you open the jar. You can almost smell the pine forest. That's lovely. It's a little bit more expensive, but really good.
Yeah. I just don't know if there's anything local that would be like that. I know like a couple states away, they have like a really large bee farm that does that kind of stuff, but I don't really know anything local. This was a really good talk. I really enjoyed having this conversation with you. Again, happy birthday. You're
Thank you.
53, which
Yeah.
is amazing. You don't look 53.
Oh, thank you. I don't feel it.
Well, yeah, of course not. Carnivores don't feel age, by the way. If you just want to
No,
live to a
I'm
50,
aging backwards.
yeah.
You know, I started sprinting again recently.
Oh.
I haven't done that for 20 years, 25 years. I spent last weekend, I spent an hour in the gym, my first ever time in the gym with my son. I posted about that a little bit. You know, I feel like I'm getting stronger, not the other way around. At my age, I should be like a lot of my friends my age are starting to think about retirement and that kind of stuff. Me, no, not anymore. I have another 40 good years left. Yeah, I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
Unless I get hit by a bus, I'm going nowhere. Yeah. So yeah, it's really. I'm delighted to speak with you, Aaliyah. Yeah, it's such a big age gap between you and I, and it's great that we're reaching out to each other across the oceans and ages and all that kind of stuff. And I loved your book and your guide for teenagers. It's absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
I really hope it's going well for you.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
I haven't I don't know. I've done really good, like as far as it exceeded my expectations, but like good for me was like any coffee sold, and like that's not really good to have like 30, I think, or less than that. But you know that's better than nothing. So.
Well, this is it. It takes time, you know. Just keep advertising it occasionally and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. We'll see where it goes. It might go somewhere, it might not. But at least someone read it, right?
Exactly. We've got to keep doing these things, hey?
Yes.
Exactly. We got to get the word out there.
Okay, well, this was really fascinating. And I hope you have a great day.
And you too.
In the recording.